Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us. Josiah's House provides services to adults with autism and developmental disabilities. Its founder and president, Irene Jones, is here to talk more about her agency and the programs available. Then Christine Foley and Andres Gonzalez from the Cleveland Clinic will discuss the clinic's diversity supplier program. And later in the broadcast after that, Marcella Boyd-Cox and Janice Taylor will share information about a fundraiser for the Cuyahoga County section of the National Council of Negro Women. Good morning. I'm Leon BIBB. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning with Irene Jones, president and founder of Josiah's House. Hey, Irene, good to have you with us here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Tell me, what is Josiah's House?
Josiah's House is a day program for autism and developmental disabilities.
You're right here in Cleveland.
Right here in Cleveland and Brooklyn Heights.
Yeah. What kind of programs and services specifically do you provide there at Josiah's House?
We teach self-sufficiency, teaching them how to wash their clothes, iron their clothes, make up the bed, proper, adequate. Learning how to just function in the community.
You deal with people with autism?
Yes, my son was diagnosed with autism when he was 3. He's now 23 years old, and he's our friend. We call them friends. We don't call them consumers. We don't call them clients. We call them friends.
Yeah. And what's your son's name?
His name is Josiah.
So Josiah's House.
Yes.
Well, I knew that, but
yes.
I wanted you to say that. to tell us why you found this was important to establish Josiah's House.
He was in a day program, and it just was not working. They were teaching him mostly vocational, which I didn't have a problem with it, but he didn't know how to write his name. He didn't know how to tie his shoe, and I just couldn't let him go out like that. And I just knew I had to do something, and I just created Josiah's House. But prior to that, he was in a group home, and they were medicating him pretty bad. So yeah.
Who can use the services of Josiah's House? Anybody
that have autism, anybody that has, well, what I'm looking for is parents like me, because I feel parents like me, we have the passion. Anybody can open a day program, but it takes a parent to understand really what's going on with our special needs. I've
got your information here. You provide adult day and evening service.
Yes.
What happens during adult day and evening service at Josiah's House?
At adult day, right now we have like 4 different friends in there now. When they come in, I'm saying, hey, princess, I'm speaking positive, I'm encouraging them regardless of what they're going through. We have hubs, learning hubs that they learn how to, if it's not know how to write their name or whatever. It really depends on the disability. It pretty much depends on the disability.
How do you get your money to keep operating? Certainly it costs to do this.
Yes, sir. I took everything I had. I stepped out. I stepped out on faith, and I took everything I had to get it going. So now we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so we're doing a lot of fundraising and different things to keep going.
Where are you located?
We're located at 981 Keynote Circle Drive in Brooklyn Heights, Ohio.
And people can just come there. They can contact you.
Yes.
I'm going to put a phone number on the screen. See, we already got it on the screen.
Yes.
216-236-6960, and people can get more information. Well, more information. People start with that phone call.
Yes. Yes, they start with the phone call, and then we also are on the website, for the state website, Josiah's House. And but to get to us, you have to go through your county board, the local county board, and then you have a support administrator, and that's how they find.
So, and you deal. So you deal with county government.
We're contracted with the Cuyahoga County.
In the middle there.
Yes.
In the middle. So really, should they contact you first, or should
they contact me first, and I can navigate them to the proper person who they need.
So if they make that phone call, 236-6960, in the 216 area code, we can begin at that point. We can also go to josiahhouse.org. Josiahhouse.org, and Josiah is spelled Josiah. Good name from biblical times. Biblical times.
Yes.
Yeah. How have you been able to change the lives of people who deal with autism. And we're talking about adults as well as you deal with children too. Yours is all adults.
Yeah, we're all adults. We're from
all
18.
adults.
Yes, 18 and up. 18
How
and up.
have you been able to change the lives and better the lives?
I've been able to change because we believe in purpose. Again, a lot of day programs are out there, but we tap into purpose. So take, for instance, my son. He loves music. So I'm bringing in the orchestra if I have to help him develop. So if the orchestra will help him speak, if the orchestra will help him tap into his purpose, then so be. I heard a story one time. A young man said that they were on their way to bed, and they heard this beautiful music playing. And guess who it was? It was their son. He was autistic. They had no clue that he was talented and gifted like that. And a lot of times people with special needs and autism are very gifted. So that's what we do. We tap into the purpose.
And you find those gifts.
We find them.
Every one of us has a gift.
Everyone has a gift, but it's up to you to find it. And as parents, we know. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you that you deal with helping people eat, personal care, hygiene, communication, housekeeping skills, mobility, dressing, skill reinforcement, self-advocacy skills, community activities, and music, and animals, how to deal with animals. All of that is part of it. Now, you've got a staff of people you work with.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have a staff that's, because I'm the mama on this end, but I have trained and professionals to come in and help me. Right now, everybody is on a volunteer basis, which I thank the Lord for that. But we're moving forward, and we want to put one eventually on the east side of Cleveland, and then eventually we're hitting states.
And right now, you're located in the community of?
Brooklyn Heights, Ohio.
Brooklyn Heights.
Yes.
981 Keynote Circle
Drive.
But once again, the phone number is 216-236-6960.
Yes, sir.
And you will get them started, but they got to go through the county.
Yes.
Through Cuyahoga County.
Yes, they have to have go through the county board to get the assessment, and then from that point we can, Are
you working with just Cuyahoga County?
No, Summit County. We're doing some Summit County. Right now we're still in that's a process. But because we just opened up November 1st.
And your son Josiah was the one who gave you the impetus to start all of this.
Yes, and he know how to tie his shoes now.
Well, God bless him.
Thank you so much.
You too,
thank you so much
for what you do. Irene Jones, who's president and founder of Josiah's House, which is located at 981 Keynote Circle in Brooklyn Heights, Ohio. The phone number is 236-6960 in the 216 area code.
All right. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure, Irene. Good to have you on the broadcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a break in a moment. I'll be right back. We'll talk about getting vendors certified for Cleveland Clinic's Supplier Diversity Program. But first, these words, especially for you. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope today. The Cleveland Clinic Office of Diversity and Inclusion provides equal access to potential business opportunities for qualified minority and women-owned businesses. Administrative Director for Real Estate Construction and Facilities, Christine Foley, and the Director of Diversity and Community Outreach, Andres Gonzalez, are both here to talk about this effort over the Cleveland Clinic. Good to have you with us, Christine.
Thank you.
Yeah, from Cleveland Clinic. I know everything is going well over at Cleveland Clinic.
Things are very well, thank you.
That's a good thing. Tell me about this Supplier Diversity Program. What is it?
Our Supplier Diversity Program is all about creating opportunities for individuals and businesses to gain access to skills that either they have or new skills so that they can thrive as a business in healthcare.
You are looking for that relationship with other companies out there.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
It's important for Cleveland Clinic to identify partners out in the community that can fulfill our business needs. And we are looking for those opportunities and those partners. Okay, you've got it. You've got it. I understand. I understand that. Andres, you're Director of Diversity and Community Outreach for Cleveland Clinic.
That's correct.
What part do you play in this now?
Sure.
What's all this mean?
Absolutely. And it's a true partnership between our procurement office, which is construction and supply chain, and the Office of Diversity. The role that actually I play in supply diversity is really one of the programs that we have, or initiatives, is really providing opportunities for Cleveland residents who are economically disadvantaged to actually have the opportunity to learn that new trade, and then more importantly, to come and bring that skill set to the clinic and get a paid internship with us.
Now you're looking for minority businesses, you're looking for women-owned businesses. How vital is that in the 21st century?
Our Our new program is surrounded by a web-based tool, and we're really excited. We've implemented a web-based supplier vendor management tool that enables us to reach out to partners in the community, and that tool helps us by linking us to suppliers who have capabilities that we're looking for to put against our projects.
Say somebody has a company and they would like to do business maybe with the Cleveland Clinic, because the Cleveland Clinic wants to do business as the Cleveland Clinic hires other companies to come in and build buildings. Where does that company begin? How do you begin with that, especially if you're minority owned or women or woman owned?
The web-based tool enables one point of access for all businesses. This is a significant improvement in our process and will continue to enable us to communicate with potential businesses in our community. The web-based tool helps us to identify the businesses. We can't begin to develop a relationship with a company unless we know they exist. And then once we know they exist, we need to know what their capabilities are. So this tool is really important, and it's a huge step for us in enhancing our program.
Yeah. Andres, what kind of impact has the clinic's supplier diversity program had on the local greater Cleveland community?
Absolutely, and that's a great question. And just adding to what Christine is mentioning, Leon, one of the things that we have done is really we created a Supplier Diversity Advisory Council. And so what we have done is really partner with organizations in the community that are in the business of identifying, qualifying, and certifying these diverse vendors. And so what we do is really then bring them to the table with us, have conversations with our supply chain, with construction, to identify what are the issues and or what are the opportunities that exist, so then they can actually capitalize on those and they're able to bid and win those contracts.
Okay. Let me put a phone number on the screen where people can get more information on everything we are talking about here with these two great people from Clinic. 445-7323, or you can go to clevelandclinic.org/diversity, get more information on everything we were talking about. While we were off camera, you and I were chatting a little bit, and I want to go back to this subject of when you're building a building, you've got patients in the clinic.
Yes.
You have to build around those patients. You can't send the patients home while you're going to build.
Absolutely correct.
Speak to that a little bit.
So healthcare construction is unique for those reasons that you've mentioned. It's different than residential construction. It's different than commercial construction because our patients don't move. We typically do our construction, renovations, and maintenance while our patients are being cared for. So it's important that we recognize the awareness and training programs that we need to have with our contractors so that they can be productive and successful in a healthcare setting, delivering construction product.
And thank goodness you're there and saving the lives of all the people from all over the world going to the clinic. Andres, leave us with a thought on why all of this is so vital, certainly from your perspective.
Absolutely. For us, supply diversity is a key program for the clinic because ultimately what we do as a great employer of choice and healthcare of choice in this community is create economic and community vitality. And so we do that through the partnerships, through actually acquiring new vendors that can do business with us, and more importantly, training local residents that now can have meaningful opportunities at the Cleveland Clinic and support their own families.
The bottom line is you want to open up the business to all people.
To everyone.
Make sure racial minorities are well represented, women are well represented, their organizations and the clinic can do business with some of everybody.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that our vendors as well as our caregivers represent the communities that we serve in this community.
445-7323, 216 area code. You can get more information on everything we've been talking about. We're talking to Christine Foley and Andres Gonzalez, both good employees from the Cleveland Clinic here in Cleveland, Ohio. Good to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being on the broadcast.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. We're going to talk about an event to benefit a local organization. Look after this for you. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. Good to have you with us. The Cuyahoga County section of the National Council of Negro Women Incorporated hosts its annual Black and White Gala fundraiser. It's set for June the 9th. Marcella Boyd Cox and Janice Taylor are here to talk more about the organization and about the fundraising event. Good to have you with us. Marcella Boyd Cox sitting next to me, and Janice Taylor, who's chair of the Public Relations Committee. Both of you are in the Public Relations Committee.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, good to have you with us. Marcella, what's the mission of the National National Council of Negro Women?
The mission is to advance opportunities and improve the quality of life for African American women and women of African descent.
This organization has been around for quite a while.
Yes, it was founded in 1935 by Mary McLeod Bethune, who was the child of slave parents and an educator and activist.
Yeah.
And we have 250 sections across the country and in Africa.
Yeah, and one of those sections is certainly here in Cuyahoga County. Janice Taylor, what are some of the programs and services provided by the National Council of Negro Women?
National Council of Negro Women for the Cuyahoga County section. For over 25 years, we have been feeding at the City Mission, located at 55th and Carnegie. Last Saturday, April 14th, we had our skating event for over 100 children at the Zelma George skating ring. And we continue to do the good works for our abused women and their children, their families, with Family Promise of Greater Cleveland, located at 152nd and in the Kinsman area. And that's where we are letting young women know the betterment of family lives.
Very service-oriented organization, in other words.
Yes.
You've got a big fundraiser coming up that I know you want to talk a little bit about because we're trying to raise some money so you can do the kinds of service projects that Janice is talking about. Tell us about the fundraiser coming up on Saturday, June the 9th.
Yes, we have our Black and White Gala that's going to be at the Mediterranean Party Center on Rockside Road. Where everybody is expected to be decked out in black and white. We're going to be beautiful that evening. We are going to raise as much money as we can for all our programs. And our tickets are $50 a piece. And we have a ticket share that, of course, you know, people can get in touch with, who's Antonia Curtis. And I have her number here. She can be reached at 216-991-4861, or 4361, I'm sorry.
A few seconds ago you said everybody's going to be decked out. I like that. I remember saying that when we were kids growing up. I guess we're still saying it. Everybody's going to be decked out in black and white. Yeah. What's going to happen at this big event that we're talking about?
I would like to give that shout out to our president of the CCS section, Vanetta J. Jameson, and our first vice president, Grovine Buffington, and membership chair is Loretta Gray, and our Ohio State convener is Gloria L. Chapman. At that event, we will be wearing formal wear. We are looking for the women in beautiful black gowns or white, and the men with black tuxedos, and we will be enchanting the evening. We will have beautiful dinner served, and
in other words, you're going to have a very good time.
A very good time. Music in the air.
Saturday, June the 9th at 6:30. It's going to be at the Mediterranean Party Center.
Yes.
As Marcella said, and it's going to be at 25021 Rockside Road in Bedford Heights, the Mediterranean Party Center on Saturday, June 9th at 6:30. When you raise money to do these kinds of things, it helps you continue the projects that Janice was talking about a couple of minutes ago, right, Marcella?
Yes, that's definitely, Leon. And we're just too happy to serve the greater Cleveland community and to try to uplift all of our African-American women and make them feel that they are important and, you know, have a contribution that they want to give back to the community.
On your information you gave me here, you've got a picture of Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, who was the founder, and Dr. Dorothy Irene Height, who was CEO and President Emeritus, the late Dorothy Irene Height, who died just a couple of years ago.
A very famous
woman. What was the vision of these women, these historic women, who helped perpetuate the National Council of Negro Women?
Well, I know that they were interested in raising up African-American women and women of African descent and trying to, and Dr. Bethune especially, champion women's rights. And she was a part of the Roosevelt administration. And she was their attaché on minority affairs. So, you know, it's been her goal, and as an educator, it's been her goal to uplift African American people and African American women.
Janice, where can people call once again to get tickets for this big fundraiser, which is coming up on Saturday, June 9th at the Mediterranean Party Center?
Yes. Antonio Curtis, ticket chair. Phone listing 216-991-4361.
We have that number on the screen as you speak. If people make a phone call to there, they can get the tickets. By the way, what's the cost of tickets?
$50.
But for $50, you get so much.
You get so much. An enchanting evening.
And we are all looking for enchanting evenings.
Yes.
Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Janice Taylor and Marcella Cox, both from the Cuyahoga County section of the National Council of Negro.
Thank you.
And we wish you much success and have a lot of fun. Saturday, June 9th. On that night of enchantment. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a break. We'll be right back. MARSHA MOCKABEE of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland joins us. With commentary this afternoon, this morning, here is MARSHA MOCKABEE, President of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Hey, MARSHA.
Hey, Leon. How you doing today?
Okay.
Good. You know, there's been a lot of conversation going on over the last few weeks about the importance of voting in this next election that's coming up. But today I want to talk to our viewers not only about voting in the election, but paying attention to what's happening in the Congress and what's happening with a number of bills that are coming up between now in November. So we don't have time to really go into detail today, but each week over the next few segments, I'm going to talk about one of those issues that we really need our viewers to watch. And the first one is this hike in the rates for the educational loans. That is going to be huge, that we need our viewing audience to pay attention to. So we'll be able to give a little more information on our next segment next time. But, you know, we not only have to vote to put the right people in office, but then we need to hold them accountable, and we need to communicate with them when they're not doing the things that are in our best interest.
As you and I have said many times, democracy means the people rule.
Exactly.
And it is the people who are in charge of our government.
Exactly.
Whether it's federal government or local government, it's the people.
That's exactly.
No political figure gets there unless he or she has won the votes of the people.
And they should be operating at the will of the people. So we need to stay on top of that.
So you're going to keep talking about that over the next few weeks or so?
Yes,
Might you be thinking of running for political office yourself?
I think I'm already in political office.
You are as well.
Okay.
As president of the Urban League, you've done a wonderful job as a public servant as you are.
Thank you, Leon.
Many thanks, MARSHA MOCKABEE. That's going to do it for us here on Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon BIBB, speaking for MARSHA MOCKABEE. We'll say good luck and be well, and we'll talk again.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.